It's a crazy, fast-paced world we live in. We want tomorrow, today. And you know what? We can have it thanks to things like smartphones. The world is at our fingertips. We have access to it anytime, any place, 24/7. And it's changed the way we as consumers purchase. Because we're a car show, let me give you a car example. The life cycle of cars have come down dramatically. Where a car would be around for 8 years, possibly with a midlife refresh, no more. You're looking at 5 years and cars are being updated and refreshed midway through that life cycle. And that was been the biggest problem for Chery. Their showroom floor has been stuck in 2008. And that is why their sales have taken a dip in 2012. What they've been waiting for is some new exciting product, and they believe that the Chery J2 is just their savior. Let's talk some staggering, crazy figures. In China, between 2006 and 2012, the vehicle growth has gone up 180%. And last year, 2012, 20 million vehicles produced. I mean, that is staggering, it's massive. But the reality for them is if they continue the growth or hope to continue the growth, they're going to have to start expanding their offerings into other markets. And that's where South Africa comes along. Chery has been here for a while, serious player, committed to Africa and very importantly South Africa, which is why the J2 is brought to South Africa, the first right-hand market to receive the vehicle. But you know, we've got European expectations in terms of the cars we like to drive, and I think that has been the struggle for the Chinese, is to catch up in terms of that. For Chery and South Africa though, you might ask the question, well, why did you wait so long to bring a J2 that was homologated back in 2011 only to the market now mid-2013? Well, AMH made a very clever choice, I think. A new plant was being made for the J2 production in China, and it was a case of bring the car in now and then change to a new plant and not be able to deliver product to the market. So they thought, let's rather wait until the new plant is up and running so we can obviously give our consumers here in South Africa good product, good delivery and good parts. And that's what they've done. The truth as well is that the build quality, the product that has come out of the new plant is much improved. The way it's positioned is against cars like the Hyundai i20 and the Kia Rio. It is well spec'd. What do I mean by well spec'd? Well, let's talk a bit of safety. Obviously, there's no Euro NCAP or even Australian safety rating, so that is a bit of a concern, but it does come with dual airbags. It comes with ABS, it comes with EBD. Very, very important. In terms of nice for consumer perspective, electric windows all round, electric mirrors, it's got aircon, it's got radio tape with USB, although it is one of those mini USBs, so that's a little bit frustrating nonetheless. In terms of its performance and output, it's there and thereabouts with all of its competitors. Whether it delivers it as sprightly as the rest, that is up for debate. Because for me, the 72 kilowatt, 140 Newton meters seem a bit sluggish on the delivery. But it isn't a bad drive at all. I must admit, for me, I always judge the Chinese on their gearbox. And the gearbox feels pretty solid. No problem getting it into gear, although there is quite a bit of noise when you are shifting down. But the drive is actually pretty good. And the ride quality, I'm actually pretty impressed with. Yes, the steering is very loose and vague. That is always going to be a concern, but you've got to then consider where this car is being used. You know, it's not a high-performance driving car, it's for cruising around the city. So the light steering is good, the vague steering, not so good. Turning circle also not so good, which is a bit of a problem when you consider that it is being used in the cities. Interior-wise, it's well put together, it's well laid out, but for me, I think this is possibly where they can really do a lot of work. It's just on their interior. It looks pretty old and dated, and that is where the young, funky target market they're appealing to might find themselves saying, hey, I'd rather go and buy a second-hand Polo or get myself into a second-hand Rio, which just looks a lot more fresh and funky. couple of things that are silly and irritating. My hands can't fit under the boot fob, so luckily when I pop the boot, it does open. Otherwise I can't get my hand in there. Just the dimensions of the Chinese to South Africans are very, very different. I get my shins beating on the silly little sill every time I change gears. So there are a couple of problems there in terms of that. But in general, it's a very, very exciting package. It looks good from a styling perspective. And let's be honest, consumers in this country buy on looks. And then they buy on brand. So Chery's got a bit of work to do on their brand. They certainly got the looks right, and their build quality is improving time and time again. So for me, at this price, I think Chery's delivered a bit of a peach.